Yes, sir. Geeks all over the globe, guys. Welcome to a brand spanking new episode of Cuz We Geeks, where we encourage you to stay geek, man. Listen, I swear I'm not toxic, man. It is your boy, Rip.
It's your boy, Will, with the Marvel.
Showing off. Listen, man, we got a special guest in the building, man. A dedicated member to the Glow Yard himself. We got Big J in the building, man. He out here showing off. He got the hot toys and everything in the back and everything showing off. It's all good, though. What up, BJ?
What's going on, yeah?
Not much, man. Not much. Listen, glad y'all guys are here geeking out with your boys, man. Listen, if you guys are into geek content, movies, television, all that good stuff, do us a huge favor. Hit that subscribe button, man. Join us here for all things geek. And also, too, man, everybody hit them likes for us tonight, man. Or should I say this morning? My bad.
Yep.
Hit them likes up for us, man. So that way we can build that algorithm to find more geeks like yourselves. All right, fellas, y'all ready, man?
Yeah, dude. Let's get it.
All right, bro. Listen, y'all already know how we do it, man. We got a lot to get into here, man. So we got to hit you with these quick hits. Ooh, this is up first. Check it out, y'all. Like Cuz I always say, let's go ahead and put that in the people face. Check it out. First Marvel and DC comic crossover in years will happen with Batman and Deadpool. Says it would be 2 one-shot comics will be released. One for the Marvel written by Zeb Wells and one for DC written by Grant Morrison. Okay. The art looked like Grant Morrison did it, so that sounds about right. But yeah, man. Get your opinion on this first, Big J, man. What you think about this news, man?
They'll get Rob Liefeld to come back and mess up the feet and the bodies.
You said Captain America?
Hey, with the 88.4-inch chest.
Way out here.
Nah, I mean, that's cool. I remember I saw some of the older crossovers they did back in the days, and even when they blended the heroes where it was like Captain America and Power Superman and all that, it was cool. But I'll be interested to see what they do here. Yeah, I think Deadpool's going to be weird because that's not even, I know they always say, but that's not a fair fight. Deadpool versus Batman would last like 3 seconds.
You might want to go watch, I don't know if you follow Bat in the Sun on YouTube. Where they do like the live action battles and stuff like that. Yeah, follow Bat in the Sun, and he had a Deadpool versus Batman. It was pretty interesting. Like, it'd be a little more interesting than you think it would be, bro. Because I know you're thinking the healing factor and all that, but Batman was getting them, man.
Well, they always say, but
But what you got, Cuz, man? What's on your mind, man?
I think it's going to be fun. You have, especially with the Deadpool, being able to break like the fourth wall. So I'm curious of how they're going to have him break the fourth wall with Batman around, or if they would allow that to happen. But I think it's fun, especially since it's been forever since they've had this type of crossover. And they, of course, you go with one of the top notch when it comes to the DC side to be able to pull people in. And Deadpool is hot, especially from movies and everything right now. So this is a smart play on both sides. But yeah, this is going to be fun. But yeah, I'm very curious of seeing him break the fourth wall. And Batman's like, who are you talking to? Like, we in this fight. So get going. So that's what I'm curious about. What you think?
Man, listen, I can't wait till this comic come out. I will be reading this 2-shot comic. Definitely will be reading it. There was Amalgamation Universe, Big J, you talking about where they had I was sitting there thinking about this other day when this news came out. You know what they should do? Start a pocket universe that's a Marvel DC crossover universe. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That would be dope. Like, exactly. That way it'd have its own like story and all that stuff. Like, they got, in Marvel 616 and then DC is Earth 1 and all that. So just call it like Earth or a universe or whatever, blah blah blah. And in that universe, they both exist together, not as combined like what Big J was saying with the Amalgam universe, but like they both exist in the same universe. They should do something like that. You know what I mean? Especially with Kevin Feige being over Marvel, literally everything Marvel. And of course, y'all know James Gunn being over everything DC. So they also have control over what's going on in the comics. Yeah. So that's why I'm saying like what they should do is do like their own like a little separate universe where this universe, these two coexist or whatever. Yeah. That's what I think they should do. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna read this, man, when it comes out, bro. I can't wait, man.
Yeah, that would be fun having a universe where both of them live or
Yeah,
coexist, that'd be fun. And
just
just
call it Earth, whatever. You know what I'm
it's
saying?
yeah, and I feel like if they were to do that, just leave it comics or animation. Don't need to go live action or anything. Keep it comic or animation, and that would be perfect. Because it would be to me, it'd be perfect because it will give us the hardcore comic folk that extra ness with it, and then you won't have to worry about confusing the
The
ones that
general
just
readers.
yeah, the big movies and stuff like that. They won't get confused off of it. It's just animation and it's comics, and so it's keeping it simple. So yeah, I think that'd be a great idea.
Good. Why you hate live action stuff? You're a hater, bro. What's going on?
I don't hate it. I just don't I don't want it to be convoluted. That's my
Yeah,
whole
you're
thing.
right.
Is like as long as it's animated and in the comic book, it gives them a lot more freeway. But if it ends up going live action, that's where it can get crazy convoluted. And then that's where they start to draw back, and that's when you start getting the your taskmasters and your Dr. Hulk or your Professor Hulks and stuff. So let's stay away from that. Let's keep it comics and animation.
You about to say something, BJ?
No, so you think there's any chance we see Slade show up in this?
Ooh,
Ooh.
I don't
That'd be a
know,
good.
but I'm
I
definitely gonna
wouldn't be
read this
against
now
it.
for sure.
I
It'd be a
wouldn't be
good matchup.
against it.
That be
I
that.
wouldn't be
I
against it.
just want to know. I just want to know how the story gonna start, man. Like, is it gonna be kind of like how they used to do it? Remember the very first time, not before they started the amalgamation universe, like they had that. They used to do those like random crossover, like Spider-Man, Superman, Batman, Hulk. But I
Yeah,
wonder if it's gonna be one of them cases, like when Batman ran into the Hulk or whatever,
yeah,
where it felt it in those comics they kind of did exist in the same universe. Like, all of a sudden Batman was hearing about some kind of green creature downtown, wrecking downtown, and he had to step in and help. I wonder if it's one of them cases where it's kind of like this, where it's like somebody put a hit out on Batman, they want Deadpool to get him or whatever.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Probably one of them cases. So that's why I said, like, maybe they should just start their own little pocket universe where both of these comic books exist together. So
yeah. That'd be fun.
but yeah, listen, y'all. This is a pretty interesting one up here next, man. Sinners. They talking about doing a sequel, y'all. Sinners sequel is reportedly in early development. Yeah, yeah. A sequel to Ryan Coogler's Sinners is reportedly in early development. The film gained mass critical and financial success due to its raw storytelling and powerful performances, captivating audience with its gritty portrayal of redemption and moral conflict. What's on your mind, Big J, man? Should Sinners get a sequel, bro?
I mean, if we don't have cornbread, then what's the point? You know what I'm saying?
Right?
We gotta love everybody, bro. What y'all talking about? Go ahead, man.
No, I don't know. I know that Hollywood loves sequels; they love milk and stuff, but I don't think that movie needed one. I think it was
No.
it said everything it needed to say right there. So I know they love to get those ATMs out there and start cranking out that money, but
Yeah.
What you think, Cuz?
Yeah, I agree. The way that the movie went, it doesn't need it. It's a moment. Being able to see this movie, going to the theaters to watch it. When you go see it, it's a moment. That's what makes it so special. That's what made everybody want to go see it. Is because it's such a moment. So once you start to go into like the sequels and stuff like that, it's I mean, I'm gonna go see it if Ryan Coogler's doing it, but it just sucks because I know it won't truly bring Sinners down, but to me it just it won't make it as special because it has a sequel to it. So I'm hoping they don't do it, but more likely they will do it just because the movie done so well. Real quick, uh, they had a showing 2 days ago in
Mm-hmm.
Mississippi where the Sinners is based out of.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, they actually and that town doesn't have a movie theater at all, so they actually built one up and had started having viewings so the citizens could go watch the movie, which was amazing. It's like it sucks not having a movie theater in your town, but for them to understand how special this is, for them to take the time, spend the money, for them to be able to enjoy it is something special. Because Kugler I think the filmographer and one other person was there at the viewing with them. So it just shows how special this was, which was pretty cool. It makes me really happy. What you think about this?
Yeah, I agree with y'all. I agree with y'all. Listen, this kind of giving me Joker vibes. I'm not saying it's the same type of movie, but
Yeah.
the first Joker was really good. I told folks it didn't need a sequel. It's like, in the studio did exactly what I felt they were going to do. You know what? This movie won an Oscar.
Yeah.
It made $1 billion. Go ahead and do a sequel. It's like that wasn't the original plan. The original plan was you're going to do this one off, tell this nice story. You wrap the bow on it and everything. It was good to go.
Yeah.
And then you see what happened when they made the sequel. It was trash. With this, like you said, you said it perfectly, because it's a perfect movie. It does not need anything else to taint it. Like, you just leave it as it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's its own special little movie or whatever. It's not something you can turn into a franchise.
Exactly.
And I don't think that's what Ryan Coogler intended for it to do. I don't think he intended for it to be a sequel or whatever, or a franchise or whatever. So that's why I'm saying, like, when you said that, bro, I was like, yeah, you 100% right. Because every movie does not need a sequel, bro. It doesn't. And because this movie was so popular, it made so much money. You know what I'm saying? I just don't want them to treat it like they did with the Joker, where it's like, bro, just leave the movie alone. It's good how it is. It's fine. You don't need a sequel. Not every movie needs a sequel. Once you get Ryan Coogler, matter of fact, I think Ryan Coogler, Big J, you probably can correct me if I'm wrong on this. He signed a picture deal with Warner Brothers, right? Yeah, see what I'm saying? So just have him do another original story.
Yeah.
Like, start greenlighting another original story. You know what I mean? Let's do that instead of you messing with this and turning it into a franchise. Like, it's a perfect movie on its own. Just leave it alone. But that's my thing,
Now, see, Warner has a history of messing stuff up. So what I vision, they're gonna try and figure out some deal.
You said Joker, right? I didn't hear you. My bad. You said Joker.
I'm thinking they're gonna try and figure out a way to bring Blade into it.
Yeah, did you comedians will sign this deal with you, man, to do a crossover? Send us Blade.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, bro. That's why I said, man, they it's just, I don't know, man. I'm with you, because I hope that they change their mind on this and don't do it. Just, you got a picture deal with Ryan Coogler. Just come up with another original concept, man. That's all you need to do.
Exactly.
Just leave this movie alone, man. It's good as it is.
He's such a great storyteller, and he's been knocking them out the park each one that he's done. I think, isn't Black Panther the only sequel he's done? Because I thought he was just a producer on Creed. I thought somebody else directed it. Creed 2.
I thought he did Creed 2.
Oh, wait, hold on.
I thought he was just a producer, because I think Black Panther and something else was going on. So it's
another young black director did Creed 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was a producer. He's right. Because Black Panther came out around time Creed 2 came out. And then I think Michael B. Jordan actually directed Creed 3.
Yeah.
So
he hasn't done sequels, as far as I know. He's done the original, and then just go from there. Black Panther 2 was his first sequel, which is a franchise. Is to be expected. So same thing for this one. Doesn't need to be a franchise. I agree with you. Go ahead and allow him to do additional storytelling for something else, because that's where he's great at storytelling. He goes in deep into the culture, gives a ton of just references and historic just things happening, to where, like, each of his, I think the only movie that I've watched of his only one time was Fruitvale Station. Like, that one was painful. That was too painful to watch.
Yeah, that made me. I couldn't watch that twice, bro. It's a good, and I loved it. It's a good movie. It's just that, man. Yeah, if you know, you know, man. That's one of those cases, like, bro. That man. Yeah. That made me mad. I can't watch that again.
Exactly. So that one's like the only one of his movies that I haven't watched a second time. But every other one I've watched multiple times, being able to see something new in it, wanting to see additional, like, see other folks talk about it to see if I missed even more stuff. So that's what's been so special about it. So that's what we don't need a sequel. Give us something new, something different. What do you think, Big J?
So here's the thing I throw out. Do you think that maybe Coogler could talk to James Gunn and maybe do that Earth 2 Calvin Ellis story? Because he loves working with Michael B. Jordan. Michael B. Jordan was tied to be Black Superman. They could do the Calvin Ellis story and have him do that, and it could still be in its own,
on little,
Earth 2.
Yeah.
Oh. I wouldn't put it past him. I think Michael B. I think they have enough sway, especially after the
Yes.
success of this. I think they could
Mhm.
have enough sway for that.
Damn, BJ.
You know what
I
we should
would
do? We should go on Twitter and go at
talk
James
to
Gunn
BJ.
and ask him.
Talk to James Gunn. Yeah, like man,
Because
that
he's, I
would.
mean, he's been pretty open about responding to people's stuff. So we should get out there. So, what you think about having Black Superman? What you think about Michael B. playing him? What you think about Ryan Coogler directing? Yeah, that's a
Oh, you
great.
know what? You know, I was thinking too, BJ. Instead of you doing because that that make a lot of people mad if you do that. Instead of doing that, just come with an Icon movie.
Oh, yeah.
So, because I remember when James Gunn first signed with DC and they started talking about their plans and all that, they was talking about bringing back the Milestone comic universe because they won that case or something like that.
Yeah.
Because that's why you didn't see a lot of them in any other mediums or whatever. Because I remember Static Shock was in Young Justice, kind of heavy or whatever. Him and Icon and Rocket was in there.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, it wasn't in that last little season. And I didn't think about it until I read. I think we talked about it on the show one time, until I read that article, and I'm like, oh, so this is why I didn't see them in there. That's I didn't notice they weren't there until I saw that article or whatever. And so I was sitting there thinking about the other day when I think because you said that on Members Only, Big J, you talking about man them doing a Black Superman movie, whatever. And I'm like, oh, instead of doing Black Superman, just do Icon.
Yeah.
Because think about it, that'd be a whole lot more impactful, especially if you know Icon's backstory, his origin and stuff, like how he became Icon or whatever, right? Like that would be a whole lot more. This would be damn near if Ryan Coogler do it and kind of add his little spin to it, bro. That can be center type of impact, bro. If we talk as far as comic book wise, if you do Icon, so that's I would rather him do that.
Oh, that'd be special.
It definitely would. But yeah, man, let's see who we got next, y'all. Here we go. Bryan Cranston, y'all. Bryan Cranston is reportedly being considered to play Professor X in the MCU. According to Insider MTTSH, he said Bryan Cranston is reportedly being considered to play Professor X in the MCU. Marvel's rebooted X-Men team are set to play a major role in the next saga after Avengers Secret Wars. What you think on this, Big J?
Well, I heard another thing though. What's it? The guy from I forgot his name. That he played the guy. What's his name? Fear the Walking Dead. The guy from Fear the Walking Dead.
The sheriff.
No, the black guy.
Fear the Walking Dead.
Coleman Domingo.
Coleman Domingo. Yeah.
They said that he was in talks. I heard that last week. They said he was in talks to play Professor X because they said that they've been talking to him about that because he's playing on the animated Spider-Man. He's the voice of Norman Osborn.
Yeah.
And they said they've been trying to figure out a way to work him in for a while.
Because remember, he was rumored to be to take over for Kane. He would talk about that too. He said they talked to him about being Kane, but he wanted to be his own character or whatever.
Yeah,
which is understandable. But what you think, cuz?
Ryan having Brian as Professor X that'd be massive. Just for has he trying to think? He hasn't done anything comic book wise, has he? So this would be like his first role in it.
I mean, if you want to count Power Rangers, they do got comics. I mean,
nah, we won't count that. So yeah, this would be his first role. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. If they're talking to him, I would. If there's considerations, it's probably going to end up being him, and then they'll have Coleman Domingo playing another major role. Because like between these two guys, these are the type of actors that you don't do just a one-off in a series. Like you want them around for a long time, just from their pedigree, their talent, and then just the following that they have from people that, from just good shows, good movies that they have. So I would definitely expect it to happen. What do you think, Jeff? Real?
Man, listen, I'm gonna tell y'all right now. Go ahead and back that Brinks truck up to this man's house. I liked it, man. Me and my wife were talking about this last night. Matter of fact, she don't like it. She feels like Professor X need to be more like smoother. Mm-hmm. She feel like he's kind of a little. Listen, I was sitting there trying to. I see where she's trying to say it, whatever. But I still feel like there's essence of Professor X that I think Bryan Cranston can bring to the table, bro. Kind of like that, like the kind of like the more like the father figure. The matter of fact, just I know you was talking down in the movie, but go back and watch Power Rangers and how he was as Zordon.
Okay.
That kind of but as Professor X.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying, Bill BJ? Like that's kind of like that. I can't think of the word I'm looking for here, bro. But like, just that presence there, I think could be perfect for Professor X.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's pretty much all you need, bro. I don't think you need him to be, like in the old X-Men 97 or anything like that, bro. Like you just need him to be kind of like that. He has that presence.
Mm-hmm.
He has that like kind of like that leadership type of mindset, like that father figure type. You know what I'm saying? Like I could see him being like a father figure, leading like young adults or whatever. So that's why I think he'd be perfect, bro. And then plus, he rocked the ball head before, so
Yeah, and plus he had he did Malcolm in the Middle for the longest anyway, so he had a father there. So it shows that he has range.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that's what I'm talking about. Like he has range and stuff. Like we seen him in, I know Big J going like this. He Total Recall, he's that guy. You know what I'm saying? But still, like you said, I see that he has range in different type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like not just like one tone type of actor. He has, matter of fact, in Godzilla, there's another example, right? The first Godzilla, like he has the type of range. That's why I said, like, if you put him in this position, I think he could do a good job, bro. Yeah, he's not like a one note type of actor. Like I think he has a range enough that I feel like he can actually be. I can see Professor X.
Mm-hmm.
I can see him being Professor X. I think that'd be perfect.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So, but now you should say something, BJ.
No, I'm saying no, and like I said, I'm sure Cranston could do it. I mean, he's got the accomplishments and he's got the gravitas, like you say. He can bring the weight to it. And even like I said, when I heard Coleman Domingo, my thought was to me with the way he can do a turn, I think he'd be a better villain, like a better sneak villain than a Professor X type. But no, I can see him. I was trying to think of who else would fit in that role. Like what other kind of established, mature actor can bring that leadership, thing. Nobody else is jumping out at the top of my head.
Yeah, I can't think of anybody either, because that's kind of one of the things I was thinking of when you said Coleman Domingo, because they had him as Professor X, and they had somebody else that is rumored to be Magneto, another black actor. I can't remember who it was or whatever. And so from what I've heard, bro, I heard that this it's a power struggle right now behind the scenes between Bob Iger and Kevin Feige on the direction they want to go with this X-Men movie. So when you said that, Big J, I heard that with the Coleman Domingo, I heard that was a Kevin Feige decision. And so I'm hearing that this is more of a Bob Iger decision. Like, so the ideology they're trying to do for this movie, it's different as far as like what they want to do with it. Like, I heard that Kevin Feige want to make it more of like social commentary, but then Bob
that's
Iger
what X-Men is.
wants to make it more. But but the thing is, that's what he wants to focus on, and he wants to focus on it heavy.
Yeah.
Bob Iger wants to make it more of an action superhero movie.
I gotcha.
So that's from what I heard. I was listening to something the other day, and they were talking about that. And matter of fact, it was on Christian Harloff's show, who's work with John Campy and them.
Yeah.
On Collider. Yeah, he was talking about that on his show. He said he was hearing that same thing. Them guys got connections and stuff with people backstage, like behind the scenes and stuff, different studios and stuff. So he was saying that that's what he was hearing. And which I mean, I could probably see that because they also were clashing on the whole Eternals thing. So I could definitely see that.
I feel like that's good though for them to have different ideas like that. They don't have to be lockstep, because if they're in lockstep all the time, then that's like rubber stamping everything that happens. So for them to have different ideas, and even with these different ideas, they're at least putting legit actors behind it, instead of just like throwaway actors like, this simple actor could be able to do it. It's like, no, they're actually going for viable actors with whatever decision that they want to go with. Like, if you go with social, going with Coleman Domingo. If you want to go more action, go with Brian. So it's definitely understandable. So it's good to see that they're actually putting heavy thought process behind it.
Bro, that could be a balance.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That could be a balance. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't have to go heavy one way or the other, bro. Just there's a balance to it.
Yeah.
The social commentary is like an undertone of the X-Men. It's what it's based off of, right? And so that's why I said like they can definitely have a balance to where it's not like going, like you said, it's not going one way or the other heavy. You know what I mean? So I just hope that I think, like I said, this right here is not a bad. But now you're gonna have to have somebody who can have great chemistry with him as Magneto. So that's gonna be the key. If he's gonna be Professor X, they gotta let us know who's gonna be Magneto, man.
But have they made a decision yet on if? Because I thought they were also thinking about having to retool Magneto's story because
because it's
he'd have to be
so far back
old too. Yeah, I was gonna say he'd be 90 years old.
So this is the thing, bro. Like I told Cuz this a couple of times on the show. We're not gonna really know anything because right now these are all rumors, of course. Like you said, you heard about Coleman Domingo. I heard some other stuff too. Like I said, we're not gonna really know anything. I don't think until Comic-Con. So that's why I always say with Comic-Con. But well, we don't have it on the show today. But so supposedly, I think Marvel's not going to be at Comic-Con.
That's what I heard. They said
they do have D23 coming up like a week or two after that.
Yeah.
So we might hear something at D23. So I think you're gonna start hearing some more definitive stuff between Comic-Con and D23 or whatever. I think you'll hear some stuff because right now we don't really know because we're constantly hearing all these rumors being thrown out about the X-Men or whatever. Yeah. I think we all can agree that they're gonna do an X-Men movie here pretty soon, or whatever, right? Not like next year or nothing like that, but like maybe in the next like 5 years, it's gonna definitely be an X-Men movie. It's just that what's gonna be the makeup of it, the actors, the directors, all that stuff. We're gonna hear that pretty soon. As a matter of fact, they talking about the dude from Thunderbolts. They got him as far as the favorite to direct the movie. You know what I'm saying? So we gonna see. We gonna definitely see, bro.
But they said that they're not happy with that Thunderbolt. For some reason, they said they're not happy with the Thunderbolts box office, which I keep hearing, even though the movie was good. But
it got. Yeah, you're right. They the box office didn't show. But they said the critics and the audience got great numbers. So a lot of time, man, with those studios like that, like it's understandable why it didn't make money, maybe some kind of circumstances. But if you can get the audience and you can get the critics on your side, that's usually a win for the studios too, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, you gotta remember too, it followed up Captain America. So that's why Thunderbolts got hit the way he got hit, because it followed up Captain America Brave New World. Yeah. So, but as long as he got the critics and the audience, they're happy, man.
Yeah, and it was still in that runtime with while Sinners was on Hot Roll too.
Yeah, I say it had a lot of circumstances to it. So, but like I said, they got the audience and the critics.
Yeah,
I think Marvel will take that win all day, every day.
Yeah.
Let's see what we got here, man. Speaking of Marvel and Bob Iger, Disney CEO Bob Iger reportedly isn't happy with Marvel's reduced 2026 movie lineup. Since according to insider Jeff Snyder, Disney CEO Bob Iger reportedly isn't happy with Marvel's 2026 movie lineup, with only 2 movies releasing next year, one being a co-produced with Sony Spider-Man Brand New Day movie. This lack of output has severely vexed Iger, as Disney will only receive a small share of his box office profits. Well, a lot of that has to do with the fact that they moved it back. They moved both of the Avenger movies back. But anyway, what you got, cuz?
I think this was inevitable for them to make these adjustments. So of course he's going to be upset because, for one, he already had the process of we're cutting that back of what we're going to do. So I think he figured, since we're cutting back, at that point everything should be more streamlined and smooth. But I feel like with that cutting back, you still had to do adjustments. You still had to do some cleaning up. I still had to. It came in. I still had to get some. As far as like their processes, as far as these movies and the way that they want the saga to go, you have to get a lot of that cleaned up. So I think they're still in the process of doing that, and it's just part of it, having to do the movie adjustments and things like that. I rather, just like what was it last year, I rather they have fewer movies that are good than a bunch of mediocre movies. So
thanks.
But wasn't that Bob Iger himself that called for the reduced lineup?
Yeah,
exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, he wanted the cut back. Like, so this is part of that. It's like you already have you're already going to do fewer movies. So movies get pushed back all the time, so it shouldn't be a surprise that you're just going to take a hit on the box office. So it's just part of it. What you think, Will?
It's the thing though. Like so then who authorized the pushback of the Avengers?
I think that was just a shooting situation as far as because they started filming, but that was already going to be a tight timeline. They were talking about that movie coming out in May of next year, and they just started principal photography. And then I heard that like they're in Bahrain right now.
Well, no. They didn't start principal photography. They been did principal photography.
Well, I thought they started principal photography right.
No, they shooting.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
because maybe they shooting both movies at the same time. They did principal photography already.
Because I know I just saw videos come out of the cast in Bahrain. They said they're doing some shots in Bahrain, and they think that's for the Void or the Battle World stuff. But because it showed like Ava Star, Ghost, Bucky. There was a bunch of them down, like mixing from all of them was all down there filming. They showed them all hanging out, and I was like, So they plan this will be all over the world shooting that, and that may be part of it because it's a big production, and they may be shooting multiple things in multiple locations simultaneously.
Yeah.
Which is, if they are, like I said, you got to still come back and edit and add all the special effects, and we already know. They said they're still doing special effects for Fantastic Four right now because they said that the screenings of the effects weren't finished.
Jeez.
And that movie comes out July, beginning of July. So
yeah, that's about a month of some change now because it's 31st today.
Yeah.
No, but listen, bro, I'm with Cuz. Just I want you to get it right, man. I know people like, man, I want to get my Marvel movies right now. I understand, I get it, man, but I also don't want you to just be throwing something out. Just say you had something out there, bro. I want you to get this stuff right, bro. So, as far as Bob Iger, I feel like they're still trying to recover, man, too, from like those COVID for sure, and they're still trying to recover from the the lockouts or whatever, right? When the people with the strikes and stuff like that. So it's gonna take a little time, bro, for us to finally kind of get back to normalcy with the whole Marvel thing. It's gonna pretty much in any studio right now. It's gonna take a little time. So I mean, I'm not really tripping about the whole reduced thing. I can see where he's coming from with that because you wanna try to build back up that brand the way it was before the whole pandemic and all that stuff. I understand. So, but I mean, you already reduced like BJ said, you already reduced the amount of movies that you're gonna have in the movie theaters already. So, I mean, it is what it is, man.
Yeah.
Check this out, y'all. We got more Marvel news. We were just talking about this a couple shows ago, cuz.
Yeah.
So the Midnight Suns will be formed in the next MCU saga. Says according to insider James, Mackle said the Midnight Suns will be formed in the next Marvel saga. The team will reportedly include existing characters such as Blade. I don't know, does Blade really exist? Blade, Moon Knight, and new ones yet to be introduced into the MCU. All right, what you think about this, Big J?
I mean, I'm excited. I really do want them to start integrating them now. Like I was watching things. I mean, like we saw Daredevil. That's one of the things I'm wondering. Like Daredevil talking about, he's about to build his army for the war with Fisk, and I'm like, where's Moon Knight? Moon Knight should be in this. He's a street level hero. You know what I'm saying? Even though he's got the contra and all that, but he'd be perfect in that setup. Him. And like I said, some of the other ones, they need to make appearances. I mean, like I said, we need to see a Blade show up. You know what I mean? It's not just because we only heard his voice with the Mr. whatever when he had a hand on Ebony Blade. So they got to start integrating these. You can't just do the throw everybody together. That's how DC messed up when they were doing the Zack Snyder stuff because they wanted to rush. You got to introduce those people over time and make them naturally organic to the story. Otherwise, you just slinging people together. Like if they all show up in one scene and be like, oh, hey, who are you? Oh, okay, let's be the Midnight Suns. Boom, let's go. You know what I'm saying? No.
Yeah.
What about you, Cuz?
What was the name of the werewolf movie?
Werewolf by Night.
Yeah, Werewolf by Night. They need to. So we know that they need to bring Blade out. So my thing is, does Blade need to be at box office right now? Blade can get the money. So just hear me out. Blade can get the money.
I'm about to ask what you mean by the box office. What you mean? Like he gotta be a hit
production. or can you put it into
I mean, yo,
streaming?
I don't think. Oh no! It gotta be a movie, bro. It gotta be a movie.
Okay,
It's gotta be a movie.
that's what I know. That's what I'm saying. Like I know it can get the money if you do box office, but needing to build up, you need to get Blade out there. You just need Blade out there outside of his voice. So that's why I was wondering, it's like, would it be okay to do a film kind of like the Werewolf?
Special presentation.
Yeah, just to be able to. Okay, now Blade is officially in the MCU type of situation.
Oh, you trying
Yeah,
to get him in there? Okay, that's what you saying.
yeah, yeah. Basically,
Like,
get him into the MCU, and then you can go from there. Because yes, technically he's in the MCU because with his voice, but we need to visually see him. And they've had such a struggle trying to get any sort of Blade movie or indication of it going on. I feel like at this point it'd probably be safer to do it as a streaming movie instead of a box office. I just from everything that's been happening, I feel like it'd be safer. That's all I'm saying. What y'all think?
no, I look. So to go back what you said, Big J, you talking about them like making it organic, where you introducing them individually and all that. Yes, that's worked with the the Avengers and all that stuff. But we also seen teams just throw a team out there and it actually work too. Guardians of the Galaxy. They didn't have individual movies for those characters, right? So it can work either way. It's just that it's going to depend on the script. If you get the script right, it's going to depend on the director. If you're able to introduce us in a 2-hour window, you know what I'm saying, each individual character. Because let's be real. Let's just say, for example, those 4 are on there. The only person everybody knows is Doctor Strange. They don't know Werewolf by Night. They don't know Moon Knight. They don't know Man Thing, right? So, because unless you watch like you said, the specials, you watch the show on Disney Plus, on Disney Plus, then you don't know who those characters are, right? Kind of like what they did with the Marvels. Like they marketed that movie wrong. They automatically assumed that you saw the shows on Disney Plus and knew who those characters were. I think we talked about that before, cuz like that's not what you're supposed to do. You introduce these people to us as if like we don't know who the heck these people are. Like my wife don't know who these people are, right? You know what I'm saying? Your wife don't know who these people are. Your mom, all that don't know who these people are. So you got to introduce them as if like we don't know who they are. We know who they are.
Yeah.
But introduce them to us as if we don't know who they are, bro. Because not everybody went to saw the shows.
Yeah.
You would say, BJ?
I was gonna say maybe if they certain ones like I said, since we've seen and I think maybe if they introduce him in the movie, even if it's a small part like Dane Whitman, he was in a movie, then you could go do a show to flesh out his story and then come back to a movie for a team up.
I like that.
If you do it that way, because like you were saying, like with Thunderbolts, I think part of the problem is people that got introduced, like was it Contessa, Valerie De Fonte. She was introduced in Falcon Winter Soldier. Everybody didn't see it, and then she was in that what was the other movie? Scarlet.
She was in.
Not Scarlet Witch.
Black Widow.
Black Widow. She was in the Black Widow movie, and not everybody saw that.
Yeah.
So you have no idea who she is. Same thing with. I mean, Yelena was in a couple things. She was introduced in the movie, and then she was in Hawkeye and got a little bit more screen time and got fleshed out more. And then she came back to a movie team up, which, like I said, I think that's the way you got to do it. Because, like I said, we saw what happened when they introduced John Walker and Captain America. People didn't know who that was. That's why they had to try and, he was a Captain America for like a minute, because nobody knew who he was if you didn't watch the other show.
Yeah,
like you got to.
And with that bitch is what I'm talking about. See how you flushed him out in the movie, and everybody loved the movie, right? Like you love that character and stuff now. You know what I'm saying? Like because you're able to. We saw it, but not everybody else saw not Captain America. What was it? Falcon Winter Soldier. Not everybody saw that. Yeah. So when you introduce him in the movie, you got to kind of introduce him to us as if like we never seen this dude in our life. You know what I'm saying? And they did a great job of doing that. Gave a little bit of a backstory. They didn't spend 30 minutes on his backstory or nothing. They kind of gave you like little bits and pieces here throughout the movie to kind of go back on his backstory or whatever, right? You make those characters interesting enough to where people are going to want to go back and want to watch more of that character or whatever, right? So I agree. And it kind of piggyback what you said though, Big J, with the Moon Knight thing. I agree because Moon Knight is one of my favorite comic book characters. The thing is, they turned him into the supernatural. He is a street level character. You're right. I mean, agree with you. That's what I thought when I first found out it was coming out with Moon Knight. Because matter of fact, I told Cuz this. I don't know if you remember, there was a rumor before Netflix lost the Marvel stuff. They were gonna do a Netflix Moon Knight show.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they talked about doing that, and I was like, and when you think of the Netflix stuff, you think of it being more grounded. You know what I'm saying? So when they said that, I'm like, oh, that'd been perfect for them to have a Moon Knight. Then eventually he teamed up with Daredevil and all that stuff. They did it in the comics and all that. So I'm thinking like, okay, cool. But once Disney kind of got those rights back, and then they started doing the Moon Knight show on Disney Plus, they turned into this like supernatural, like Spawn type of character or whatever. I'm like, that's not who he is, bro. But I mean, it is what it is. I just want them to kind of reboot that character, bro, and get that right, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's get on to this next one here, y'all. Let's see what we got. Okay. Marvel confirms the first 3 release dates for Phase 3. All right. Let's see what we got, y'all. So February 18th, 2028, May 5th, 2028, and November 10th, 2028. So, fellas, I'm gonna ask y'all this, since we don't really know. I'm gonna y'all to what 3 movies would y'all like to see in those 3 slots? We'll start with you, Big J.
I think Doctor Strange is going to be one. Doctor Strange Part 3, because I think they're going to wrap that story with him and Clea. But I think he's going to be, at some point, he's got to be in this in the 2 Avengers movies.
Yeah, he's gonna be. You already said it yourself.
Yeah, at first he said he wasn't, then he said he was. But yeah, but so I think he's going to be in one of these. But then I think he's going to be one of these. I hopefully they'll either do the Blade or Midnight Suns movie is one of these, and then I don't know what the next one would be.
I thought you were going to say it. It's going to be X-Men.
That early? Maybe. Yeah.
X-Men is going to be May 5th.
It's 3 years, BJ.
X-Men is going to be May 5th.
Ooh. Cuz calling it right now.
Yeah, I'm calling it. May 5th is going to be X-Men. Doctor Strange is going to be February, and Midnight Suns November 10th.
Okay. Now, if you're gonna say X-Men gonna be May 5th, you got to put BJ's house on it, man. Listen.
No, I'm gonna put his hot toys on it. I'm gonna put his hot toys on it.
Now, I agree with you. It's gonna be. I don't know when. You might be right, cause because May, this is gonna be a hot property, and May is probably that sweet spot.
Marvel loves it.
Yeah. So I think. I'm willing to put y'all's house on it, man. That it's gonna be X-Men somewhere in there. I'm gonna throw a curveball. I'm gonna say it's gonna be a Black Panther movie.
That is one that's been announced. That's been announced.
That'll probably be February.
Yeah, they used to do for Black History Month. I mean, that don't exist no more.
Yeah, they keep it consistent.
Yeah, but I say it become out in February, so I can see Black Panther, I can see X-Men, and then I can see that's 3 years. What we been hearing? I don't know if y'all believe in rumors about Thor dying in the movies. It might be a Thor movie.
I thought they announced Thor 5.
I thought it was in development.
Huh?
I thought it was in development. Like they like it ain't got greenlit or nothing yet. Like this is in development. Like they're talking about it and stuff. Ideas and everything.
Didn't they say something? It was some movie that Thor introduced the director to Feige. Like he was in some movie. He liked the movies. I forgot what it was. Some movie.
Oh yeah. I know he's talking about. That's a while back. I think we talked about it on the show, but I can't remember. But I know he's talking about. Okay, I'll go with Thor 5. Unless y'all believe the stuff that's been going around online, man, about Chris Hemsworth, but I got Thor 5, bro.
Would that be flipped from what we saw in Deadpool? Remember in Deadpool was the one that was supposed to be dead, and Thor was holding him crying.
Yeah, that was only one scene. That might have been like midway through the movie or something, and he might die then. Like I said, I don't know, but I think that is going to be in the movie somehow, man. There's got to be a payoff for that.
Well, they shot it. That's the thing, because at first people thought that they just flipped the scene with him holding Loki, but they said they actually shot that as fresh footage for that movie.
Then on top of that, the reason why I was kind of skeptical about that being in the movie, Thor has long hair, and they said that right now he has short hair on the set on both Secret Wars and Avengers. So that's what I'm saying. I don't know. He could put the piece in or whatever, you know what I'm saying, but I don't know. Maybe it might be. I don't know. But those three I'm gonna go with though.
Okay. Yeah,
All
we're
right,
gonna
let's see. We
bookmark this show. Come back to it.
yeah, bookmarks when I'm right. No, but I can see Thor being in November too if that's the case, because that's around the time they come up with the movies and stuff for Thor. So I could definitely see that. And then of course, y'all, last but not least, John Berthraw will reportedly return as Punisher in Spider-Man: Brand New Day. Says according to Nerdotics, John Bernthal will reportedly return as Punisher / Frank Castle in Spider-Man: Brand New Day. The film will now be street level focused rather than multiverse. As previously planned, production will begin in August. Oh my god, bro!
Well, that changed because of the pushback. Had to, because when they put. Remember, it was supposed to happen between the two movies, and it was going to be a multiversal movie. But Marvel always wanted it to be a thing. Now, I don't know if y'all ever talked about it, but there's that story about that Marvel's been kind of helping delay the movie because of the rights issue thing. There's the right to, so if they don't make a movie, I think it's every, was it 4 or 5 years, but the movie has to be in production by a certain date, and it has to be released by a certain date, or the rights revert back to Marvel. And I remember it was about a year ago, they were saying that Marvel has been kind of slow dragging
That's crazy.
the production stuff because they keep changing scripts and stuff. And like I said, it may be like, hey,
this might be the play for them.
So supposedly what it is they haven't had, they don't, well, this is for the Avenger movies. They don't have Tom Holland signed yet for the
correct.
Avenger movies, which is crazy to me. It's like, but I heard that he sat down with them and talked about the idea. Cause me and Cuz talked about it on the show. Who was it, Cuz? It was him and Kevin Feige. That's who it was. Him and Kevin Feige wanted to ground it. Sony wanted to make it another multiversal, I'm not listening to y'all, Sony. I'm definitely not listening to y'all. But listen to the guy who got more success and listen to the actor part of the movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm listening to them instead of y'all. But anyway, no, listen. We hearing this now. We didn't flip-flop about 5 or 6 times. Hey, okay, cuz you're happy. I'm happy with you. I want to be grounded. I need to wait and actually see what the heck is going on with this movie, because we didn't flip-flop about 85 times, bro. Like I said, matter of fact, we talked about it on the last show. We was like, bro, and they said it's gonna, bro, and they said it's gonna be a multiverse, and they said it's gonna be grounded, and they said it's gonna be he out of the country, all that type of stuff. And I'm like, bro, originally what they wanted to do, I know Tom Holland wanted to do, they wanted to ground it. So remember we started hearing about Daredevil being in there and all that stuff. Like, bro, get Daredevil in there, get Spider-Man, Shut Up, Kingpin, bad guy, Sinister Six. What we talking about? Get the movie started. Let's go. He got to protect this block. Not this universe, not this, you know what I'm saying? Not the multiverse. He protecting this block. That's all we need, bro. But we'll go ahead, Cuz. What you say?
No, that's what we've been pushing for forever. Once we knew it was the next Spider-Man movie, it was like, it needs to be grounded. He needs to have his simple suit, and he needs to be grounded. He needs to be the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. So I think this is also going to be fun because you're slowly getting more and more of the defenders in his movies as well. Because you had Daredevil, he wasn't suited up, but you still had him. Now you have Frank Castle, so it's fun the fact that they're bringing them in one by one like that. Yeah, I hope I hope so much that it's grounded and it stays grounded. Because even like you said with the Sinister Six, and with them, you can keep it grounded. You can keep it in New York, and it will be fantastic. Especially having Frank Castle there to help him. Yeah. Go ahead. Let's go ahead and start this movie now. It might come up earlier than Disney wants it or Marvel wants it, but hey. Oh well, it'll be a fantastic movie.
Hey, what was that storyline, Big J, where Punisher was sent to kill Spider-Man? He had a hit out on him, and then of course at the end they teamed up. I wonder if they're gonna kind of play into that.
But so here's the only thing I'm wondering though is, since of course Punisher's already in the Daredevil universe, and same thing with Kingpin. Are they gonna figure out a way to put Spider-Man in Daredevil season 2, which they should? I know they well, Unless they do.
But
That's the thing. They don't.
so
They can't until they do, because that's the same thing. Because like they said, Wilson Fisk, he can only be in a 30-minute TV show, or he could be in a movie. But if he's in a movie, it has to be a Sony movie. With a TV show, it can be a Marvel TV show. So it's like all they got to do is figure it out if they want to, because it would make a whole lot of sense. Because what happens is they have to. What they've been doing historically is they'll give one character up from the Marvel side, like they said they're gonna put Hulk into the next Spider-Man movie. Is what I heard. That's a rumor right now. But that's the thing. So we'll give you this one if you give us Spider-Man in this kind of thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that may be what they're doing. They may be like, hey, we'll give you the Hulk, so you can have your Avenger and your Spider-Man movie and the Punisher from our stuff. If you let us, if you let us put Spider-Man in Daredevil, because it don't. How you gonna have a vigilante versus versus the government, the corrupt government, if you don't have a Spider-Man in New York?
Yeah,
it don't make sense.
I was gonna say, so Punisher's his own character.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's not in somebody else's universe. He's his own character, so that's why he's able to be on the movies and all that stuff. They actually own his rights straight out. Like he's not owned by, his cinematic rights aren't owned by Sony and nothing like that, like Spider-Man. The only thing I don't understand is I don't understand how the rights thing work with the whole Kingpin thing. I don't know why like he can't be in the movies with Marvel, but he could be in the TV shows. Because I guess if you are a purist, I guess you would tie him more to Daredevil because he had more stories and more effect on Daredevil than Spider-Man. Because I grew up, to be honest with you, growing up, I thought he was a Spider-Man villain.
Me too.
You know what I'm saying? So, but in the comics, I mean, if you actually just kind of dig down to the comics, bro, he actually is he's both of them, but he's more Daredevil. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's the thing too. So, because Daredevil was in the movie, Matt Murdock was in the movies. So I'm just trying to figure out why is he able to get into be in the movie? Oh no, I'm sorry, Sony. Sorry, my bad.
Well, no, because
that's what I said.
No, it's because Marvel loaned him, because Marvel had the rights to Daredevil. They gave him that's one of those things. They do favors for each other, and that's the thing. They said like, hey, we'll let this guy be in your movie if you give us something back. And that's kind of what they've been doing. So they say, hey, we'll let you put him in the movie, but that's the thing.
But actually, remember, Daredevil came back. It's in Marvel because remember, Fox owned the rights, but those rights reverted back to Marvel before Disney bought Fox.
Correct.
Those rights, the Silver Surfer, I believe, is who it was, and it was Blade. Those were the three. When they owned those, no, not Blade. I'm sorry, it was somebody else.
So the Hulk was Universal. And
Hulk was Universal. Namor and Hulk are Universal. Their distribution rights are still owned by Universal. So that's why you haven't seen a Hulk movie with Marvel yet. That's why you always see him in somebody else's movies. Because if Disney makes a movie, then guess what? Universal gets that money because they get the distribution rights to that. So that's why you don't see him in anything. And you see him and Namor. I remember for the longest, Universal talking about doing a Namor movie because they own the distribution rights or whatever. And so that's why you see these guys are only going to be side characters in somebody else's movies. But it was three characters. I remember Fox ended up revert, kind of what you were saying earlier, Big J. Those certain characters, you have to have some kind of production within like a 5-year gap or something like that, or whatever it was. They didn't. They couldn't figure out anything with the Daredevil. Oh, it was Ghost Rider. That's who it was. It was Ghost Rider. So those rights got reverted back to Marvel because they were like, we good. You can keep those aren't making money for us. We'll just let y'all have those, whatever. And so that's why they end up still keeping Fantastic Four and of course X-Men. And so that's when they end up buying. Of course, they bought Fox out, and then all that stuff got reverted back to Marvel. But yeah,
they need to buy Sony back.
Man, I tell folks all the time, Sony not selling Spider-Man, bro.
No, they need to buy Sony. Well, that's the problem. So that's the problem is because Sony parent corp makes all that money from the electronics, even though the studio struggles. The studio is dying, but they're subsidized by that.
They were talking about selling their movie division off. Remember that?
Well, the problem is though, so that's the other thing though. They can't because under the way the contracts are written, if they sell if Sony sells Sony Pictures or Columbia Studios, whatever,
Spider-Man goes back to Marvel.
Spider-Man goes back to Marvel. Yeah. So they can't sell it because then it has zero value because their number one IP disappears. And what you're asking about is when they bought the rights to Spider-Man, they bought his rogues gallery. So they say there's like 360 some characters that are affiliated, which includes but they only get the movie rights and the video game rights So they have the
Marvel
Spider-Man.
got the TV rights.
The TV. That's why Kingpin can be in the TV show and he could be in a Spider-Man movie, but he can't be in a Marvel movie without Spider-Man being in the.
So that's what I asked him Cuz the other day. I was like, I wonder if they can mention Kingpin in the movies.
They should be able to.
If Marvel lets them. That's Marvel. But the weird thing they said though is if that's the rule, they said if once you let somebody show up one time, then you can use them from then on, and so that's why they've been real guarded about who they let cross over.
Because I mean, listen, you got Spider-Man in New York. He's a mayor. You got to mention him. Like, oh, the mayor did this. So that like you said earlier, Big J, that vigilante law or whatever.
Yeah,
that's gonna affect Spider-Man. So who starts the vigilante law? Yeah. Kingpin. You got to mention him in the show or in the movie or whatever, some kind of way. Especially if you're gonna keep it grounded or whatever. So
how you not gonna mention what happened with the Thunderbolts? I mean, once again, that was in New York. They destroyed a big chunk. They destroyed Avengers Tower.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, I agree with you, man. All right, man. Y'all ready to get to the next thing here?
Yeah, sir.
But before we do that, man, let's show some love to Playback.
Thank you to our friends over at Playback for this segment. Pause. If you're tired of the national media and the annoying ways they sometimes cover sports and other events, give the Glow Sun Production channel on Playback a try. We cover new and old school basketball, wrestling, and geek culture. And just recently, we've added boxing, mixed martial arts, anime, and even video gaming. So if you have time in your busy day, give our channel on Playback a look and check out some of our replays while you're at it. Another special shout out to our favorite at Playback. Back to the show.
Yes, sir. Man, fellas, I got a really important question I got to ask y'all, man. It's very important, all right?
What you got?
What in God's holy name you out here watching in these streets, Big J?
I just got finished watching The Last of Us and Andor and was not feeling Last of Us. I liked Andor. I wouldn't feel Last of Us. They need to fix that.
Huh? I see you cussing on the show. You language, all good.
You know, dude, you know that is quite controversial right now. You know.
Yeah, it is. I don't know why, but I mean, I guess I look at stuff different. But go ahead, my bad.
Nah, so my thing is like, so I'm not tied to the game, but they should have did the same thing they did in Game of Thrones, and age her up, and just replace her with a a more age appropriate character because she still looks like she's 12 years old, even though I know she's like 19 to 20, but she looks like she's 12, and she comes off as an annoying kid versus the mature adult she's supposed to be, or and I'm like, it doesn't work. Because nobody believes that. Oh, you don't believe she's some hardcore going out there fighting zombies, beating up grown men and all that. She looks like she's 12 years old. But
yeah,
nah, like I said, I was watching Andor. I loved Andor. Andor made me go back and rewatch Rogue One. As soon as I finished Andor, I went back and watched Rogue One again.
Same.
They said that too. They said that that's what folks were doing. They're going back and watching Rogue One.
They got to do
best Star Wars movie of all time, of course. But,
no, Star Wars. See, that's the problem. Star Wars got to do more. They say, that you talk about Civil War. They said there's a Civil War over Star Wars because of that. Because Filoni is mad that he wants everything to be exactly what George Lucas had, and that's what they want it all to be kiddified and stuff. And it's like, and he wants only his characters, and I'm like, that's not. Everybody in Star Wars is not a Jedi or a Sith. They got regular people with regular lives, and all that stuff they did in Andor built up to what happened then to let Luke be Luke and become the hero of the galaxy. But it's like, you want to kill all that, and everybody got lightsabers. And I'm like,
everybody related to the Skywalkers.
Yeah.
It's boring. But they want it to be so small, and when it's not, they can't handle it. When people like it, they like, oh shoot, they mad that people like it. It's like they're trying to figure out a way for it to be a failure, but it ain't. They said I think it's nominated for 23 Emmys or something already.
Yeah,
I love it. I also what made it so special. Andor was that it had no lightsabers. There was no force, any force wielders or anything like that. It was just normal people, part of the resistance. Then you had the Empire, and it was just the normal people of the Empire. As well, just your managers and commanders and stuff like that. It wasn't force wielders. It wasn't your Darth Vaders or your Sith. It was just these government entity type folks that was just doing evil stuff. That's what made it special. So for them to
what was the best Star Wars movie? Cause
Rogue One, like hands down, like
there you go.
that's
Triple J Solo.
the only time that you got to the Force wielder
Was at the
was
end, the
Darth
very
Vader
tail end of
in
the
the
movie.
last 5 minutes when he was walking through everybody, which was fantastic.
That was
Oh
cool.
my god,
It was just that little pocket though.
bro,
Everything
that
else,
one scene scared the heck out of me when I was in the movie. I'm just sitting, like I said, I'll tell you before, I pictured myself in their shoes, like, yo, like dude screaming like, help get me out of here. He just walking through. I'm like, man, listen, bro. He picking dude up in the air and just slicing him as he walking by. I'm like, nah,
love it.
y'all got it. Y'all got it. I'm good.
All right, so question for you: who had the better scene, him or Luke in Mandalorian season 2? When Luke
I
was
knew
just
you
like,
was gonna ask that. I knew you gonna ask that.
hey,
That was fantastic too.
Luke was handling up too, so it's like, you know.
I'm gonna give it personally. I'm gonna give it to Darth just because of how, like, I can still physically remember how I felt when I watched.
Hey, you know what?
I
Cause
can
right,
physically remember how I felt when I watched him walking
bro,
through.
that scared the bleepity bleep out
Like
of me,
my
boy. I'm
heart
not
was
gonna lie.
racing. It
Yeah,
was. I could still physically remember what I felt when I watched Rogue One, Darth walking through people.
Oh,
So
when that lightsaber ignited, in that because it was dark and smoke, you
yeah,
just say,
yeah.
bro. I remember when I saw that, I was like, oh shit, bro. Like what the? Cause it got real quiet. They all turned around. They were looking. And like you
Yep.
said, it was just completely dark. And you seen that lightsaber just go. Oh man.
Yep.
I ain't gonna lie, it would have been urine and feces, boy, everywhere if I was in there, bro. Like, yo, listen, you can have it. I open the door for you, Mr. Vader. Here you go, man. I don't want no problems, bro.
he
Like,
still would have killed
man,
him.
yeah,
Yeah.
he probably would have, yeah. What you been watching though, cuz?
Still behind on Last of Us. It's this show on Paramount Plus called Mobland. Have y'all heard of it?
Oh,
So I just
cuz you beat me. I'm on the last episode, man.
I
Cuz, listen, boy.
binged it this past. Like I'm behind on other shows. I started watching this one because I've been hearing good things about it and
Bruh,
got
that
going.
show got me hooked, man. For
Yo,
real.
if
Bruh.
you're not watching Mobland, get Paramount Plus and watch.
BJ, go watch Mob Land. You understand? Go watch it. Bruh.
Yeah, put it on the watch list.
Put it on the watch list, bruh.
Yeah, that one because like I said, I heard good things about it, but it was better than what I heard. It was like
Terry said she heard about it on.
in.
Somebody at work told her about it, and she was playing it last night. She ended up falling asleep and stuff. But I watched that whole entire show last night, bro.
Yeah,
I went to bed like 3:00 this morning watching that show, man. I'm on the last episode. I still ain't finished the last episode yet.
It's a must watch. Must watch. I finally finished up on Samurai Jack on its rewatch. Absolutely love that show. I haven't really had much time, but that's the main stuff I've been watching. That's it right there. Did the same thing when Andor finished. Went right into Rogue One as well. What I've been loving about that is a lot of the commentary. They've turned season 1 of Andor, season 2 of Andor, and then Rogue One into the new episodes 1, 2, and 3 of Star Wars, which I think is pretty funny. It's like, I mean, I'm not against it. So it's been pretty funny. But that's the main stuff I've been watching. What about you, bro?
Man, like I said, Mobland, bro. I'm about to go downstairs to finish that last episode. Been watching that. I've been watching Dragon Ball. I think I got like 63 episodes left of that. I feel like there's something else I was watching. Y'all heard of this show on AMC called Pantheon? It's an anime. I'm about to watch that. I saw some clips on TikTok. I might have to watch that show too. I might have to add that to the list. Cause I'm gonna try to get back to watching my anime stuff, watching more anime. I think I'm gonna do probably Attack on Titan next after this. It was another show. I'm still waiting on One Piece to dub the second half of the AK arc, and I'll be caught up on that. I already finished Dama already. But that fight scene in Dama is crazy, bro. I like the fight scenes and stuff. What else I've been watching? This is where you start going through all the apps stuff in your head. Yeah. Disney Plus. I watched Captain America. I watched Captain America: Brave New World, and I only watched that because I wanted to see Hulk again, bro. Because that's that's close to the original Hulk we gonna get right there, bro.
Yeah.
And I think that's pretty much it. Oh, we went to the movie. What we see at the movies? Oh, we saw Lilo and Stitch,
How was it?
and we saw that little girl in there is adorable, bro. We saw Lilo and Stitch, and we saw Mission Impossible. I already showed y'all the little.
I would say this upcoming week. I didn't have a chance this past week.
BJ being a hater. But yeah, so we saw that, man, and I think that's pretty much it, bro. I think that's all I've been watching. Like I said, I'm gonna finish Mobland, man. That show, golly. Like I said, my wife started that, bro, and I was like, yo, this is crazy. But yeah, we gonna probably by you seen Bondsman, BJ? Okay.
I started watching it. Yeah, it looks crazy because I woke up and it was on, and I'm like, what is this? I started watching, like, this is crazy. So I was like, I'm gonna have to go and watch this whole. But it says they said they canceled after the first season. So it just came out in April, and they said they already announced. But it looks great. Got Kevin Bacon in it.
You said Swamp Thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Jeez, I hate to cancel that show. That was a good show. What was I about to say?
Going to have to put that on this.
Oh, let me ask y'all this. I asked my wife this last night. Do y'all prefer to binge watch stuff, or do y'all prefer it to be every episode every week?
It depends. So, like Black Mirror, I will have to do one episode at a time because it's just craziness. When you have shows like Mobland, I can just sit there and watch that whole thing through. Yeah, it just depends on how heavy or how the show is. If it's a dark show, I typically don't mind spreading it out over time. Even with Andor, the season 2 of Andor, I didn't watch all 3 shows at the same time, like each week as they dropped them. I did each of those shows one at a time, one per day when it dropped. So it just depends on how heavy or how thick the show is for me to either binge it or split it up. What about you, Big J?
I do both. Like a lot of times I'll watch, like I may watch a show weekly, and then a lot of times after it's over, I'll go back and watch it all back to back to see it differently because it views differently. Just like Andor, I did watch Andor. To me, it was like them dropping a movie every week. Is how I looked at it. It's 3 hours.
3 episodes. Yeah.
So I watched that 3 hours, and then I went back and watched all of them again back to back. Now I'm thinking about going back and watch season 1 again, and then I'm going to have to watch 2 again.
Yeah.
But because it's good, it's just that good. But I was telling my son about this scene with a K2SO in that hallway when he did a boy dirty.
Yeah.
He did. I was like, that's so messed up. He didn't need to because he was bulletproof. He was like, he just like ragdolling it. I'm like, see. I was like, but see, that kind of,
that's another show I forgot. I watched. I finished Love, Death, and Robots too, the 4th season. It was pretty interesting too. But trying to think of that.
Yeah, he ragged out.
Yeah, that's it, man. Use it by the shield.
Oh, dude.
Let's see if we get somebody question comment that we can call the show, fellas. Shout out to BA, new member of the Glow Sun production family. He said Deadpool, Gwenpool, Carpool. Batman and 5. I got Batman too, man.
Yeah. That's fantastic. That's fantastic.
Just BJ showing off. I'll show some off. Pause. Div, look who in the building, BJ. Your best friend. Div. The BJ looking like a pro. You the YouTuber pro on the camera. Okay.
Div crossed genres to hate.
Said great show, guy. Appreciate it. Oh, he said Marvel Zombies. So ain't that show supposed to come out this year?
I think so.
Oh, yeah. Div said right here. So looking ahead, Marvel has several other projects scheduled for 2025, including the animated series Ironheart. Yeah, we already knew Ironheart was coming out. That's in June. And then Marvel Zombies.
Animated?
Yeah, Marvel Zombie. Yeah, it's gonna be animated. I remember that.
No,
it's gonna be the same. Well, no, not Ironheart, but I think he's saying some animated still coming out. But yeah, Ironheart, and then Marvel Zombies is coming out in October. I forgot about that, man. I hope that's good. I think it's on like a 4-episode like miniseries, something like that. I think they said, or 5 or something like that. I could be wrong, but yeah. But yeah, man. Listen, guys, we definitely appreciate y'all, man, geeking out with your boys for another episode of Cuz We Geeks. If you guys are new to the channel, into geek content, we ask you guys hit that subscribe button, man. Join us here every Tuesday evening, every Saturday morning for all things in the geek culture involving movies and television. Also, to everybody, man, hit them likes tonight, man. Help us get that algorithm up, man, to find more geeks like yourselves. I thank Big J, man, for joining us here, man, for another episode, man. We appreciate you, Big J, man, showing off with the hot toys and everything. Appreciate you, man. But yeah, man, listen. With all that being said, man, it is your boy Real.
It's your boy Will.
Yes, sir, guys. Y'all stay geeked. We'll see you on Tuesday. And we out.